ULA Field, when I talk about ULA with patients and when I talk about ULA with friends, ULA Field is one of those things that always confuses them because they don't know what field is. And to stay clever with the F's over the last 15 years, we use the word field versus career. And when I say career, I do not mean, I don't mean that you went to college and you have this great job, or you went to college and you have a job you don't like. Career is kind of what you put your efforts into. And if that is being a stay-at-home mom, if it is being a CEO of a big company, if it is being a garbage collector, whatever it is, that's your field. That's where you make your money. That's where you put your time and energy into. I'm very, very passionate about this. I've been very fortunate to really, really love what I've done over the last 15 years working with patients. And I would say career-wise, for me, field-wise, I'm right around that 6-7 mark. I'm very, very fortunate over the last couple years. I started a clinic 2 years ago. I was able to start another one a year later, all while not being able to borrow money, just being able to have good relationships with people and help me build those clinics up. And I ended up selling my second clinic I started a year later to a really good friend of mine who was an associate doctor in my practice. And I actually made the decision to sell my main clinic and focus on Ula Mula and focus on the Seeking Ula video series full time. This is a big change for me, 15 years of private practice. And I'm going to move in this direction purely because I know that this is where my passion is and this is where I can affect a lot of people. When you have a clinic, you got this 5 to 6 mile kind of primary range where 90% of your patients come to see you, some come from farther away. But this type of thing, I can be talking to people all across the world and helping them out, and this is what I love to do. I love to help people and take care of them on the wellness level and on the little level. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So big changes in that area. So I'm going to be totally selling everything in probably 3-4 weeks here, and going full-time into Ula Mula and going full-time into SeekingUla.tv and working with the Ula Guru on building this and helping you help yourselves basically and build your own Ula. To measure this really specifically, it goes into, does it provide for your family? Does it provide for what you love to do? And secondly, do you love it? Because if you're going to be doing this the next 40, 50 years, and like I said in that first video, I said, you know, I always take 90 for example. I'm turning 40 here shortly, and I got about 50 years left, and I better be doing what I love to do. And although I love private practice, I do feel more of a passion towards this, and this is where I need to move all my energy and shift to, because I do not want to look back in 3 years and have a should have experience. I remember a guy talking about should all over yourself, and this is what he talked about. He said, you never want to look back at your life and have those should all over yourself experiences, and I don't want to have that. So I want to focus totally on Ula Mula and moving that forward. Rate yourself. How happy are you in your job? Do you get up every morning looking forward to your job? Do you get at the end of the day and focusing on your family and ready to go to work the next day and putting forth full effort? Are you at work right now in a cubicle on Facebook? Are you watching this going, I hate my job? If you do, you don't need to quit today. Some people will, but start taking steps. Start building that. If your Ula field is a 3 and your Ula family is a 7, and you want to start to build your field so you can focus more on your family, then you need to take steps on how you're going to get there to a 4 or 5 at the end of the year. And if you make those little changes, build that wheel, build that wheel, build that wheel, amazing things happen 2 to 3 years down the road. So that's Ula Field. Very passionate about that. It's one of my favorites that I value a lot. And I hope that you find exactly what you're looking for in the next month or the next 2 to 3 years by figuring out what you love to do and where you are right now currently in your career.